When your work isn't going well, or your relationship is being tested, or you feel anxious, what do? Do you scroll your phone, get drunk, or try to think positively and push through it? These methods might work for a while, but the anxiety comes back very quickly, right? What if I told you there's a 2,500-year-old system of thought that doesn't just relieve anxiety, but explains where it comes from and how to eliminate it at the root? Would you be interested? This system is Buddhist philosophy. It's not about becoming a monk, meditating all day, or believing in supernatural gods. It is actually a very practical and logically clear tool for understanding your own mind. In most cases, the way we deal with anxiety is actually flawed. The reason is that we cannot clearly see the true nature of what triggers our anxiety. But Buddhist philosophy, while it may not solve your specific real-life problems, can resolve all of your emotional problems. Yes, all of them. Today, in this long video, we will uncover the mystery of Buddhist philosophy and explore its fundamental logic to see how it addresses our emotional struggles. First, a clarification. What we're discussing today is not religion and not belief. It is a logical system about how humans become trapped by their own minds. This video will involve several Buddhist terms, which may be somewhat difficult to understand. But if you are currently feeling anxious or lost, I believe you will gain something from watching this. Let's start with the first question. Where does anxiety come from? In Buddhist philosophy, anxiety has a more fundamental name, affliction. Buddhist philosophy arose precisely because humans have endless afflictions. So you must remember this term, because everything we discuss later revolves around it. The word Buddha in Sanskrit means the awakened one. The core idea is that every person inherently has the same qualities as a Buddha, a state of clarity, calmness, and freedom from disturbance. This is your true nature. A Buddha is an awakened being. Ordinary beings are Buddhas yet to awaken. So here's the question. If we are inherently Buddhas, why do we still feel anxiety and suffering? Because our true nature is covered by something called the deluded mind. This deluded mind gives rise to three things, which are the root of all emotional problems. We can call them the three forces. Greed, this is not just about money. It is a state of wanting a new phone, more followers, a different partner, or a different future. Any form of wanting is greed. Aversion, this is the other side of greed. When things don't go your way, you feel irritation and anger. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and your whole day is ruined. That is aversion. Delusion, this is the most important one. It doesn't mean you're stupid, but that you misunderstand reality. For example, you think, once I get promoted, I'll finally be happy. Or you think, that person criticizing me must be targeting me. These are all signs that you cannot see things clearly. That is delusion. These three are the engines of anxiety. And interestingly, no matter who you are, as long as you're driven by them, you will experience anxiety and suffering. No one is an exception. So the next question is, when we feel affliction, how do we usually respond? If you think carefully about affliction, you will realize that whether you are extremely wealthy or completely broke, you still have afflictions. The rich have their troubles, and the poor have theirs. When facing affliction, we try to deal with it in our own ways. But 99.99% of people, in trying to solve affliction, are actually creating karma, and karma will eventually come to fruition. If you cannot resolve it in this life, you will enter rebirth and continue in the next. Note that two key terms appear here, karma and rebirth. Karma can be understood in two parts. Karma refers to actions of the body, speech, and mind. Force refers to the latent energy or inertia left by those actions, which will at some point influence the person in return. The best way to understand karma is through the metaphor of seeds. Whatever you do, you plant a corresponding seed. When you generate a kind thought, say something kind, or do a good deed, you plant a good seed in your mind. When you generate a harmful thought, say something hurtful, or do a bad deed, you plant a negative seed in your mind. These seeds lie dormant until conditions are right, and then they sprout. One day, when external conditions like sunlight and rain are present, the seed will germinate and take effect. When they bear fruit, you will experience the result, and that result will shape your emotions, your circumstances, and even your life. Simply put, good seeds lead to positive outcomes, while bad seeds lead to suffering. So when you try to numb your emotions with alcohol, you are planting a seed of avoidance. When you react with anger to setbacks, you are planting a seed of anger. These seeds will eventually produce more anxiety, more anger, and more frustration. They will only deepen your affliction. Buddhist philosophy sees this not as punishment, but as a natural law of the mind. So here's another question. What if some seeds haven't borne fruit before you die? This leads to another core concept, rebirth. Rebirth can be understood like this. The seeds you plant will continue. They do not disappear when this life ends. They carry into your next experience, whether it is the next stage of this life or what Buddhism calls the next life. The key is, as long as you respond with greed, aversion, and delusion, you will keep planting new seeds. These new seeds will continue your suffering, life after life. This cycle is rebirth. In summary, rebirth exists to exhaust previously created karma. And the root of karma is greed, aversion, and delusion, affliction. Because of these, we create karma through body, speech, and mind. Beings are reborn into 6 realms based on their karma. First, the heavenly realm, great blessings and long life, but attachment to pleasure leads to eventual decline. Second, the human realm, a mix of joy and suffering, making it the best for practice. Third, the azure realm, powerful but filled with anger, jealousy, and conflict. Fourth, the animal realm, ignorance, fear, and survival struggle. Fifth, the hungry ghost realm, endless craving and lack. Sixth, the hell realm, intense hatred and extreme suffering. So, how do we break free from this cycle? From this, we know rebirth comes from planting seeds. So how do we stop it? Simply stop planting new seeds. But how do we do that? By seeing clearly that greed, aversion, and delusion are projections of the deluded mind and no longer generating them. This is awakening. From beginning to end, Buddhist philosophy points inward. It does not give you a God to pray to. It tells you that you are already okay. You just cannot see it. So the Zen master Reining said, "Seek Buddhahood within, not outside." It means what you're looking for is not outside, but within you. If you truly understand this, the next time you feel anxious, it may be different. You won't rush to fix it, but instead pause and look at it. That moment may be the beginning of seeing clearly. If you still feel a bit confused, that's okay. Resolving anxiety is a long process of practice. We will gradually explore different methods of practice. Among them, one will work for you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.